Okay.
Hello, lovely people of the world.
Magandang araw sa inyo lahat.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
Ahlan wa sahlan.
This is Justin, Sarah, and baby Sabrina.
Hi. Say hi, Riri. There you go. Her mouth is full right now. Yeah. Silent. In today's video, we'll be talking on our personal experiences with online dating, as well as our expectations versus reality. Alright, you guys, Sabrina's in bed, so now we can get to the juicy details.
We are lucky enough to have found each other, but for all the single people out there, it must be a very difficult time to be dating during COVID-19 lockdown. So here comes online dating to the rescue. For those of you who are following our channel for a long time, know that we met on online dating site way back in 2011. I started online dating because I wanted to find someone to have a genuine connection with. I was going from work to home and I didn't have any co-ed extracurricular activities like salsa dancing class, for example, and drinking and partying isn't my scene. I did try going to Korean church to meet women, but it was a bust mainly because I'm not religious. And I had a hard time connecting with those people from church. When I was online dating, the most commonly heard rejection was, "You seem like a nice guy, but I don't date Asians." I heard that line from every ethnicity of woman, including Asian women.
Wow.
This is why I think EastMeetEast dating app is perfect for someone like me. It makes online dating comfortable for Asians living in a Western society.
Yay! Oh, EastMeetEast is also perfect for someone like me because I grew up around Filipinos. I even went to a university in the Philippines to pursue my nursing degree and was surrounded by Filipinos. So a lot of who I am has been influenced by the Filipino and the Asian culture. Because of the strong Filipino influence in my life, I find myself relating more to Asian men because we understand each other's culture better. So today we've partnered up with EastMeetEast to help our viewers who are single and looking for that special someone in their lives.
Before I got started on online dating, I was dating a classmate, somebody I met from church, somebody I met through common friends. Turns out it didn't work out for whatever reason. And so I decided to try online dating because I ran out of friends, common friends.
And not only that, you're more of an introvert, right?
Right, so going up to random stranger, asking for their number is not my cup of tea.
Oh God.
I was on online dating site for 3 years, I think, before I met Sarah. And during those times, I had a lot of different experiences with online dating.
Positive?
You're the only positive.
You're so sweet. Okay. Okay, for me, let's see. So I've only discovered online dating when I moved here to Canada. In the past, I've never dated a stranger. I've always been on a date with a classmate, a university mate. That's pretty much it for me. I tried the long distance relationship thing and that was really, really tough and did not last. Yeah, I decided when I moved here to Canada to try the online dating scene because based on my experience of how busy our lives get here. I mean, I've worked full time. I spend most of my time working, coming home to do some chores, to eat, and then sleep. So it's basically work, rinse, repeat. And then on the weekends, those are my days off. That's when I get to spend more time with family, friends, really close friends. So there was barely any time to meet new people outside of my circle of coworkers and friends. Yeah, I found it very, very helpful because then you get to make comfortable, safe connections with strangers. Yeah, I was very comfortable with the idea of the whole getting to know each other online before you meet up with that person. Did you have any tricks up your sleeve or strategies that worked out for you?
The one strategy that worked to get you
Stop.
was to use this pickup line that goes, "I think I know you. Aren't you my wife? What are you doing here?"
That worked on me, you guys. It's so sad. I had to make sure that I take him out of that dating pool before he uses that line on anybody else.
Initially, when I started online dating, I used to write this big, long initial message,
I love long messages. Oh my goodness.
introduction message. But what happens mostly, those messages never get read. They just go to the bottom of the inbox and eventually disappear, and without ever anybody opening those messages. Because I found out that women on this online dating site get so many more messages than men. So they just do not have time to read every single one of them.
Interesting.
So I feel like I'm wasting a lot of time writing these really long messages, first introduction messages, but they just go into waste. That's when I changed my strategy to just spam everybody with the same pickup line and see who responds. And then once I get a message back, that's when I write a longer introduction message.
I'm still in a bit of shock that you've received messages where women would tell you, hey, you seem like a really nice guy, but I don't date Asian. Like, how do they know what they're not missing out on?
In most online dating sites that I've seen, you don't get to say, I do not date Asians, put a check mark there. So then the people who are searching for profiles can filter by that. That's not an option you can check off.
Well, obviously, because it's very discriminatory.
Exactly. So I don't know who doesn't date Asians. So that means I just have to send the message to everybody, and then if they don't respond back, I can just assume, or maybe they don't really care about me that much. And then those who write message back, then they're open to the idea of dating Asians.
Do you have a type?
I do not have type. That's why I was messaging everybody.
Okay, cool.
The thing is, for me, it's not about type. It's just who I can have connection with. On paper, just because we both like Monet doesn't mean that, we're gonna have instant connection.
So I didn't have a type either. I know at the beginning of this video I mentioned that the Filipino culture has had a really strong influence in my life, but that didn't mean that I had a type in the sense that I was only attracted to Filipino men. I knew that there will always be a better sense of connection because I speak the language, the Tagalog language, so it'll be easier for me to sort of express myself in both Tagalog and English. But yeah, I never jumped into the online dating scene with a preemptive notion or expectation that I would only focus on Filipino men. So yeah, I basically kept an open mind. However, I must say that I was in for a huge, let's call it messaging shock, because I did not expect, I'm sure it's not just me, I'm sure all women have had this experience when they first get onto the online dating scene. I did not expect to receive about 100 new messages from at least 100 men every single day. Meaning day one, the 100 messages are from completely different people compared to day two. Completely different people, but another 100 messages. And day three is another 100 messages from completely different men. And I'm like, is it just me, or are there more men on here than women? But then again, there was no way of me knowing. However, you guys need to understand that when you get onto the online dating scene, it's not just, I'm sure most of you already know this, not just to find your soulmate. It's also even just to be friends. I feel like the online dating scene is actually a very helpful tool to find new friends.
Online dating is also a great place to find recruits if you're into multi-level marketing scams.
Okay, but like, have you ever been schemed by any of these?
There was one person on online dating who approached me for that.
No way.
Yeah. And she said, I don't date agents, but if you're interested, I have a business opportunity for you.
She said that like that?
Yeah.
Lord. I was so naive going into the whole online dating scene. I literally tried my best. I spent hours and hours every day after work to get back to every single message, be it the highs, even just the hi. I have to say hi back. How are you today? I have to say, I'm great, thank you, how are you? I was just like, I was so naive, and maybe I was just like being the nicest person that I used to be, So I was like, okay, I'll do my best, and then I realized this is so much pressure, and it takes up so much of your time, and it was so exhausting. That's when I think my sister came to my rescue and said, yo, you're not supposed to respond to every single hi and hello and how are you? And then I saw his message. And it looked like it was a lot of effort was put into it because...
No, it doesn't. You knew it was a pickup line that I sent to everybody.
No, honey, no. I did not think it was a pickup line at all. At all. I was that naive, you guys. When I saw your pickup line, I didn't see it as a pickup line. I saw it as you were genuinely somebody who knew me. When you said, hey, I know you, I was like, oh my god, I got recognized. Oh, this is embarrassing. Oh no, they're gonna know. Like, if this is a coworker, if this is a friend of my friend or whatever, they're gonna say, oh, I saw your friend. She has a online dating profile.
This is because this is back in 2011. I think right now, online dating is a lot more common compared to 9 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely found your line to be very funny and very genuine. So I was like, you know me? From where? And you're like, oh, I think you're my wife. And I was like, oh my god, he was just joking. Oh, thank god. Which is why I had to make sure that he no longer used that pickup line on anybody else.
And turns out she became my wife.
Yay! Lucky me. So let's talk about your expectation going into online dating versus the reality of what actually happened.
I thought it was a great catch, and I thought all the women would be flocking towards me,
You are, honey.
trying to get my autograph.
You're like, yes.
But turns out that wasn't the case.
Yes, I'm a software developer. Would you like my autograph?
It was a lot more work than I
Anticipated.
anticipated, yeah.
Aw. That's what I've heard from a lot of my coworkers as well who have been in the online dating scene. They said that they noticed that women have it a lot easier than men. When I say easier for women, I don't mean like easier for them to find their soulmates.
It's easier to...
Get a date.
Right. And even if you found the chemistry while chatting online, and when you finally meet that person in the physical world, it turns out that there is no chemistry between the two of you. That happened several times.
For me as well.
There was time I spent like 3 months talking to somebody and then finally met and then realized we had no chemistry.
What?
So that's when I realized spending more time online to get to know a person is not necessarily a good idea, because you're just knowing the online persona of that person.
Which makes sense because you get a lot more time to collect your thoughts and find the right words and then type it properly, as opposed to being on a one-on-one encounter or in a date. You don't necessarily get that luxury of a filter. The things that come out of your mouth comes out. You don't get to say delete.
I think some of the newer online dating sites, they have like live chat, maybe even video chat. So maybe those things may take out some of those differences between typing versus in real life.
You know how I mentioned that I jumped into the online dating scene, maintaining an open mind? Truth is, deep down, I was actually a bit terrified by the stigma that surrounded the online dating world. Back then especially, like during our days, 2011. I feel old. I remember feeling really embarrassed about being online, looking for love online. The only other person who knew was my sister. I didn't even tell my mom. I remember going like, oh, mom's gonna tell me, oh, be careful. There are like creeps out there. There are rapists and there are stalkers and murderers and stuff, which, mind you, they have surfaced.
If you watch true crime TV shows, every single one of those shows starts with, so I met him online.
Oh no, and you're like, and then what happened? All things went awry. Did you, going into online dating, did you believe in such a thing as soulmates? Just online dating, just dating in general. So you believe there are more than one soulmates for one person?
Well, it's not exactly a soulmate, but I think you are compatible with many people in the world. And just a matter of finding one of those many people.
Well, before marrying you, I believed in such a thing as soulmate.
I mean, there are 7 billion people in the world. Half of them are men, half of them are women. So you have 3.5 billion people of the opposite sex. And you think of those, only one person is right for you.
Right.
That sounds statistically very challenging.
When I married you, I believed there was one soulmate. And then I watched all these rom-coms. Because there are some movies out there where they showed it, depending on where you're at in life, this could be your soulmate. Or depending on who you're with, that could be your soulmate. So it's possible to have multiple soulmates. But luckily for me, I locked one down. I locked the best one for me. Smurfs. The reality of it all is that they're not all weirdos out there. Most of them are. I mean, at least back in my time, most of them were. The reality of online dating is that it's not that hard to find your soulmate. Got lucky. I think I got lucky. It's really not that hard for me to have found my soulmate. There's more. Deal breaker. Did you have deal breakers?
I find it really difficult to find somebody to genuinely connect with. There are times when I could say something and then other person would think that instantly I'm a weirdo for saying something.
But how do you know they thought that? Did they say it? Or they just made that face like...
Yeah, we're like, for example, we went out on a first date. Then I say, what happens if you put a Siamese cat in the fridge? And the person looks at me.
I would look at you too.
Like, what a weirdo.
You said that? Did you have like a traumatic experience with cats? Or...
Which mental asylum did you skip from?
Right? How many did you kill? Was that a joke?
What happens is that because Siamese cat fur, color of the fur changes based on their body temperature.
Okay.
So if you put a Siamese cat in a fridge,
They'll turn blue?
if I'm not mistaken, they turn dark if they're cold.
Did you all know that?
I made a point out of always making the comment with anybody I go on the first date with.
So you're persistent even though you got bad raps?
Yeah. I want to know whether the other person find those fun facts curious and interesting. If she thinks that I'm a weirdo by the fact that I asked the question of what happens if you put Simon's cat in the fridge, and she finds that a deal breaker, then that's a deal breaker.
So is that your deal breaker?
Deal breaker. I think I said dear.
Dear deal breaker.
Dear
Dear breaker.
breaker.
Dear breaker. You understand what I was saying? Dear breaker. You claim you used this on me.
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty
and
sure I
what was
did.
my reaction?
You were giggling and you want to know the answer to the question.
Well, yeah, that sounds like me. The naive me, yeah.
How about you try to act it out? How would you have giggled?
A Siamese cat in the fridge? What would happen? Like
Yeah,
that?
just like that. That was your reaction.
But deep down I'm like, danger, danger. Crazy guy over here. Guys, don't do it, okay? Don't put your cats in the fridge, please. Don't listen to this crazy dude.
But if it's a Siamese,
I'm tempted to do it.
how about science experiment? Deal breaker for me is
Deal breaker.
somebody who whines and complains about everything under the sun.
Have you had a date like that?
Oh yeah, we went to a movie theater and this theater is so small.
So cold, so dark. The movie sucks.
Yeah.
The trailer sucks. Popcorn sucks. The drink sucks. Basically someone negative.
Right.
That makes sense. I mean, who wants to be around a Debbie Downer, right? So you didn't have like a type that you're like, oh no, deal breaker, physically.
Oh, there was one time that when my date showed up, she was about 12 years older than her photo and about 60 pounds heavier than the photo.
And you said deal breaker?
Right, because that's misrepresentation.
So is it the fact that she's older and heavier that was a turn off or a deal breaker for you? Or was it the fact that she lied about how
That
she
she
looked?
lied.
What about like single moms? Is there a deal breaker there at all? Or
Well, being a dad automatically kind of scared me.
of course.
But if somehow I find a genuine connection with this person, then I'll give that a try.
That's sweet. Oh, a deal breaker for me would be a guy that talks too much.
And hence this guy.
Okay, you guys, like I am generally a very talkative person, although I am secretly an introvert. I cannot be with a guy that talks more than I do. I'm sorry. I mean, he must be very entertaining to other women, but to me, it's just our personalities clash. Plus, I talk so much that I really need somebody quiet to pay attention, to listen. And yeah, I'm pushing him to talk more now, which is great because now he's joking in front of you guys. I mean, other times he's like, no, I'm just gonna be prim and proper here. Yes, the Lord that I am. But I love the nerd you are. Also, somebody who blatantly disrespects you. Like, you know, calls you names, makes fun of your teeth. I've never had that, but I've had friends tell me about their horrible dates and like how they were saying, oh, you know, your teeth aren't straight, or you're a little too wide or you're a little too tall and stuff like that. And I was like, holy mackerel, guys say that? You guys fix yourselves.
Oh,
As long as you respect the other person and you get respect back. I think that's the most important thing. Respect, first of all, and then communication. It's really important you have that, right? But I did not have any, like personally, I didn't have any nightmarish experiences. Just bad dates. Do you want to talk about some of your bad dates? I'm sure they're curious.
Okay, the worst date, I got stood up several times on the first dates.
I said worst date, that's like several times.
Another one, as soon as we sat down on this at this coffee shop, she takes her cell phone out, puts it on the table, and tells me that she's expecting a phone call because her roommate needs to go grocery shopping and she needs to go accompany her roommate to go grocery shopping. And then the phone rang 10 minutes later and she answered and she got up and she left.
And one of the worst dates was a guy that, so we went to a restaurant, and then when he saw what I had ordered, he told me how surprised he was about how much I can eat. Just thinking about it just makes my blood boil. But yeah, he was like, oh my goodness, you know, you're the first person I've been out with that eats that much. Are you sure you can finish all that? And I'm like, what's he saying? He noticed that I had not touched my water until I had finished my meal. And then when I did touch my water and take sips, I start to drink it. You know, I'm drinking water. He kind of stopped me and said, oh, you shouldn't be drinking water until 30 minutes after you had eaten, because you need to give your body time to digest the food, because you don't want to mix water with the grease. They don't mix well. So then it would end up being unhealthy for you and you would just gain weight. And I'm like, is this guy calling me fat? Like, first he judged me for the size of my meal, which is a normal size meal, you guys. I had chicken, mashed potatoes, gravy, there's mixed veggies on the side. And yeah, just the look on his face, he didn't look like he was pleased or amused that, oh my goodness, that's amazing. It's nice to see a woman who knows how to eat, right? No, it was like, you can eat all that? Oh, you shouldn't be drinking water. That was one of my worst dates. Because I've been on a date where the guy kept looking at the screen watching a game, whereas I was just sitting there trying my best to like, hey, do you want to end this date? And it's no, please stay. Like, let's eat. Yeah, let's eat. And he tries so much to put effort into the date, but you could tell his attention is so divided. I'm like, oh my goodness, I should just let me go home so I can sleep, you know? But yeah, in light of the importance of social distancing in the midst of our current pandemic, if you are looking to mingle with other people virtually, you guys should check out the social distancing cyber happy hour on EastMeetEast. Check out this video so you can get a taste of what it's all about. Right now, EastMeetEast has a social distancing cyber happy hour. With the lockdown and the need to connect with people, we tried it out. We found that it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to meet new people and make new friends and potentially meet the one. And perfect time to try out online dating. Try it out by clicking the link below in the description box.
Thanks everyone for watching this video.
We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Do we look like we enjoy making this video?
We did! We laughed a lot. Just remember to listen to the healthcare professionals' guidelines when it comes to maintaining a safe physical distance of at least 2 meters or 6 feet apart. Also doing your best to stay at home, but keeping the connection alive by socially reconnecting with family, friends on virtual platforms.
Stay safe and stay in school.
Stay in school. There is no school. Try it again.
Right, they are closed. Stay safe and stay home. Yep. Don't go to school.
Go to school, but virtual school, right? We love you.
We love you.
Where's the other half? We love you. Okay, say bye, Brie. Bye. Bye-bye. Blue kiss? Good job. Oh, say bye-bye. Say bye. Bye, Sabrina. Bye. And we're out. Okay, you guys, I don't mean to be the Debbie Downer in this conversation.
Honey, I noticed that you do that a lot when you're like stressed or something.
I don't.
Farewell to you.
Goodbye.
And you. And you. And you.
This doesn't
And
look
you.
like anything to me.
Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality?
I don't know shit about. That makes sense, doesn't it? We can make like a parody or a
Free cell motor functions.